Hey Pisces, hey Pisces Kingdom, I'm tuning in for a reading today. I don't know what's been going on with you Pisces, I don't know what's up with your energy, but all of your November readings have been coming in really, really good. This is going to be a very good month for you. We also have the 1111 portal coming up, so it's a very lucky month. As you can see here, Three of Wands, this is your general energy. It also highlights that 1111 portal with each wand on each side. And the good part about the 1111 portal is that there's a very clear before and after. It's kind of like quantum leaping, quantum jumping onto another timeline, finally receiving the results, not just feeling the anticipation or feeling the emotion or the excitement for something that's about to come, but going clearly from manifestation to materialization, which is a very important part of the process, because a lot of people get caught up in manifesting, right? And it just perpetuates the cycle of like, when is it actually going to come? When is it actually going to arrive? When is it actually going to happen? And that's the magician. Magician is manifesting. It's kind of, putting all the elements together, all your tools, all your experiences, getting it all in one place and starting to mix and alchemize the elements, start to go through the process of manifestation and drawing those desires to you. So this is magician energy. However, 10 of Pentacles being your first card, this is actually touching it, feeling it, grabbing it, having it physically in your reality. So you're going from manifestation into materialization. So this is a very important process that is happening for you this month of November, Pisces. So it's a really good sign, because one of the main messages coming in that's, again, I'm going to say is the most important, but not quite. You have a lot of good things coming in, but I'd say that this one is the one that's most highlighted. It's the Eight of Swords with the World. Some of you, this is the end of it, okay? If you've been feeling stuck or entrapped, or just kind of like you can't seem to get out of this mindset or out of this energy or out of this environment, whatever this is, the Eight of Swords talks about a very stuck kind of energy, or this energy of feeling restricted or limited or stuck, or just, doesn't matter how much you do or how much you try, it just feels like you're kind of in the sticky energy, where again, as you can see here, she feels blindfolded, she feels tied up, and this is how she perceives herself, but the reality of the situation is not that. And so this is the end of it, Pisces, the world. You've successfully closed out a cycle of, again, things not moving in the right direction, or having to try super hard for something, or feeling stuck, feeling entrapped, restricted, limited. The world, this stuckness, whatever this is, whatever you've been experiencing, it's over. It's done and over. So you're getting out of this energy, and this is what propels you straight into the Ten of Pentacles in the Sun. And so another thing to take into account is we have the Two of Pentacles in the reverse with the Two of Swords in the reverse. This talks about juggling. This talks about going back and forth. This talks about indecision, okay? So if you've been experiencing a lot of indecision, a lot of going back and forth, a lot of kind of like planning and putting things together, but not being able to come around to the action, or there's just like this back and forth energy. It can feel like burnout, like being overwhelmed, like hesitation. That's also coming to an end, because the Two of Swords and the Two of Pentacles, what it does is it divides your energy. So let's say that you have a specific goal or something that you want to do, and it's like you set everything in motion, but some way, somehow, either the actions don't match the words, or the actions or the energy is not there, right? It's like it pulls you in two different directions, right? Let's say that you want to attain a certain kind of, I don't know, maybe you want to go for a specific gym routine, or you want to attain a specific body goal, right? You have set everything in motion. You have the right diet. Maybe you have the right, gym clothes. You have the right membership for the gym. But all of a sudden, when it comes to going, right, you just don't have the energy. Or maybe you have a lot of responsibilities that come up. So it just talks about this divided energy of like, you want to go in this direction, but there are other things that are pulling you in an opposite direction, or diverts your energy, or creates opposition, or opposing energies within you. Like, let's say that you have a to-do list for a specific day, and you have all these things you want to do. And it's like you set everything in motion. You have the to-do list, you planned out, you scheduled out the time, but all of a sudden when you get there, it's like you don't have the energy, or maybe you have other responsibilities that come up. That's what the Two of Pentacles and the Two of Swords does. It just kind of pulls you in two different directions. And it divides the energy. So again, could look like indecision, could look like juggling, hesitation, a lot of things on your plate, and it creates some kind of a chaos in your life with the Tower. So all of that is coming to an end, okay? The world, it's over. okay? Because that Eight of Swords, it kept you in the same place. No matter how much you were doing, no matter how much you were trying, it's kind of like that feeling of running on a treadmill, and you're running so fast, right, to try and get to your outcome, but you're on a freaking treadmill, so you're not going anywhere. And that's what it feels like. It feels a little bit like burnout, like overwhelmment, just feeling stuck, undecisive. So whatever you experienced in the past that got you to that rut or to that place, that's coming to an end, the world. And so what you've been working towards is finally coming in with the Three of Wands being the general energy. And for a lot of you, this is a major level up with Judgment coming in. So Three of Wands coming in, it says here, take pride in the progress you've made so far. For your past efforts have created the momentum that you needed to get the ball rolling. Today, you are moving through energy you created in the past. And being here ready and waiting is a milestone that you should recognize as a success. While there's still work to be done, know that you are headed in the right direction and that you will see your big waves coming in soon. When they arrive, you may not know exactly how to ride them, but you will be ready to learn. Look for that new relationship, the new client, for that lucky break on the horizon, for the arrival is imminent. I am expectant and optimistic, and I know that my dream is on the way. Energy manifested, waiting for results of your effort. The arrival of opportunities, finally understanding your ambitions. Continuous improvement and moving in the right direction, progress. You've been doing the work, Lightseer, planning, seeing, learning. Watch for the signs that your dream is on the way, because they are everywhere. Exactly, Pisces. This month is not only going to be the materialization of your manifestation with the Magician, like physically having it, getting the results, not just feeling it, not just having the inner knowing, but actually getting it. It also feels like you're going to have a lot of opportunities coming in this month that are going to help you attain the things that you want. Ten of Pentacles is all about wealth. It's all about abundance, prosperity. And wealth and abundance and prosperity is not just monetary, which Ten of Pentacles is. It can be in all areas of your life. This is one of the wealthiest, most abundant, prosperous cards in the entire tarot deck out of 78 cards. It's a really good sign if you've been working on something to do with your business, with your investments, with your work. It's something material, it's something physical that's going to bring a lot of abundance to your life. And the Sun is saying this is a big yes, okay? This is a major opportunity that not only is it going to bring a lot of happiness into your life, is really going to raise your vibration. This is a very positive card, and what it's getting you out of is this juggling energy of undecisiveness that again is paired with that Two of Swords in the reverse. So you have a lot of opportunities coming in this month, Pisces. I don't know what you're on. It just feels like you've been putting in the work for a long time, kind of keeping your head down. And a lot of things are finally coming full circle, not just in an energetic way, but in a very physical way with the Ten of Pentacles. So I'm going to go ahead and clarify the Two of Pentacles because I want to know a little bit more about this energy. It does talk about juggling. It can also just mean that you have a lot on your plate, a lot of responsibilities, a lot of things kind of coming at you all at once. And, you know, needing to prioritize so that you don't burn out, so that you use your energy for the things that are truly going to get the ball rolling and get you to where you want to be. Because if you try to do everything at once, it's just going to keep you in this energy of Eight of Swords and trapped because you won't be able to. And then that Tower moment is just chaos, you know, trying to work in chaos, trying to operate in chaos, and, you know, just trying to make it all work, but, you know, feeling like it's too much, right? Because that is juggling energy. So I want to know a little bit more about that because you're going from Two of Pentacles in the reverse straight into Ten of Pentacles. So that's a big shift in your energy. That's a big move. And I don't know what happens. I don't know what happens from this 2 to the 10. I don't know what kind of opportunity or what kind of moves you're making, but it's a big jump, Pisces. And it's gonna bring in those results in a very physical way because we are talking Pentacles. Holy Spirit, what do you want Pisces to know about the Two of Pentacles in the reverse? What is this energy for Pisces? Tell us a little bit more. Okay, that's too many cards. Not going to take those cards. Clarify the Two of Pentacles in the reverse for Pisces. Holy Spirit, tell us a little bit more. The Devil. Ooh, Pisces, exactly. It's this very sticky energy that keeps trying to pull you down. Devil to Five of Swords in the reverse tries to keep you in the mind space, tries to really get you to overthink certain things and reminds you of things that maybe in the past didn't work out. Eight of Cups in the reverse. The Lovers in the reverse. And the Eight of Wands in the reverse. Okay. Yeah, okay, this is exactly what it feels like. This Eight of Wands, we were talking about this just a minute ago, is that feeling of burnout, is that feeling of being overwhelmed. It's kind of like running 1,000 miles on a freaking treadmill, not getting anywhere. This is the Eight of Wands. It's an energy of hesitating, burning out, feeling overwhelmed. In the upright, it's a very positive energy. It talks about action, movement, emails, phone calls. It's all about making the moves, and it's very swift. It's very fast. It talks about momentum. It's like if you ever felt stuck, this is the energy that's going to get you out of that. In the reverse, though, it's a halt. It's a stop. It creates more stuck energy. And so this being in the reverse, paired with the Eight of Cups in the reverse and the Lovers in the reverse, I don't know what kind of situation you encountered in the past, Pisces, but it was really affecting your mind space. You know, sometimes when you go through something that kind of reminds you of your past or reminds you of past traumas or past situations, it kind of feels like it snowballed into something else. Like it kind of spiraled into something else. And as you can see here, he's in his head, right? He's in the mind space, overthinking things, overanalyzing. It even talks about this energy of kind of bringing up memories and memories that are not so positive, right? It just kind of feels like a downward spiral, okay, of something that happened in the past that was very toxic, that was very negative, very low vibrational. The Devil is a very sticky kind of energy. It's hard to get out of those ties. And it can talk about bad habits. It can talk about toxic people, toxic environments, addictions. And addictions doesn't have to be like a super scary thing. It could literally just be bad habits, or it could talk about feeling like you're in a rut or being in a negative environment, just like low vibrations or negative thoughts. And paired with the Five of Swords, it feels like a loop, right? It feels like a downward spiral. So in the past, something happened. I don't know if I should clarify, but the Lovers in the reverse, something happened in the past that kind of just created a downward spiral where, you know, one thing in your life happened that started to affect other areas of your life. And before you know it, you felt like you were overthinking things. Past memories, negative past memories were coming up. You know, flashbacks, things like that. And the Eight of Cups in the reverse, it means that you already walked away from the situation. It could have been something in the past. But even though you physically walked away from the situation, or emotionally or spiritually walked away, the Devil, you still felt like there were some ties or some connections that you couldn't disconnect from. It was hard to disconnect from the situation. It could have been a person, a relationship, a certain kind of event that happened in your life. Two of Pentacles in the reverse, it just feels like as you were trying to move forward, as you were trying to do the right thing and move on, okay, something was dragging you down. Something was pulling you in the opposite direction of where you truly wanted to go. And this is what created that feeling of being overwhelmed or burning out, because even though you were doing the right thing to move forward, to move up, to level up, something was actively pulling you down. And it's this energy here. For some of you, this could have been a Capricorn. Doesn't necessarily have to be. I just want to bring that up because the Devil does represent that zodiac sign, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. It's just it's a toxic energy. It truly is. It's someone that could be very negative, very toxic, very low vibrational. It could also be some kind of environment. Do apply this to your situation. I don't want to go super specific because I'm trying to keep this general, but whatever that was, it kind of created this feeling of being stuck. Okay, it's like you were doing good. You say, how do you call it? You know, when things are going good for you, when you have everything kind of aligned, you know, everything's up to date, everything's going good, everything's flowing, everything's smooth, and all of a sudden you meet that person, or you get into that situation, into that relationship, or, you know, you kind of fall into some kind of a rut or some kind of environment, and it just starts to bring up old traumas, old memories, things like that. Even though you do the healing work, you may still have some of those memories. So it just feels like one little thing trickles into another, and before you know it, it's like a downward spiral of negative thoughts, negative memories, past traumas, things like that. Even though when you actually cut ties or walk away, Eight of Cups in the reverse, you may still get those memories, you may still get those thoughts, you may still be connected energetically to the person or to the situation. And so it becomes very hard to actually move on from it. It's one thing to say, oh yeah, I moved on, and it's a whole other thing to actually feel it and actually live that way. Because a lot of times, even though we physically abandon situations or walk away from those situations or move away, we may still experience some of the aftermath that comes with that. And so Whatever this was, Pisces, it was really tricky because 3 of Wands being the general energy, it feels like you're just now getting your juju back. Like you're just now getting back in motion and feeling like yourself again. As you can see here, she's completely bare, right? She's raw. She's ready for this next chapter and she's crossed that portal. She's physically crossed to the other side. And that portal represents the before, whatever past situation you were going through. And then that what she's walking into is the after, right? The future that you're walking into. So your ships are coming in now that you've walked away from the situation that was keeping you stuck and keeping you in this place of negativity or low vibes. So Holy Spirit, what do you want Pisces to know about this devil? What is this energy for Pisces? Could be a person, could be a relationship, could be an environment, bad habits, your thoughts, okay? That energy. Okay, 6 of Cups, wow. For a lot of you, this was a past connection, a past relationship, or a past person, because 6 of Cups talks about an emotional connection. Someone that you were emotionally connected to. Tell me a little bit more, Holy Spirit. Four of Wands, King of Wands, 2 of Wands in the reverse. We have 2, 2, 2, all in the reverse. Okay, so I'm getting strong fire sign energy for some of you. This could have been an Aries, could have been a Leo, could have been a Sagittarius, or also a Capricorn. Doesn't necessarily have to be those signs. I'm just getting that energy very strongly. Some of you might have been in a connection or in a relationship or in some kind of a union with this person. 6 of Cups in the upright. There was some kind of emotional connection. It's someone from your past. 2 of Wands in the reverse. Why the 2 of Wands in the reverse, Holy Spirit? What is this about? The Empress, okay. The Strength in the reverse. Insecurities, the fear of taking the next step, being stuck in your past, feeling worried about your abilities, opportunities for alignment. Non-action won't get you. Likely have you feeling the angst of dreaming the dream instead of walking the talk. Use the fire of this energy to initiate your shift. Take a deep breath because self-initiated change can be scary. The only way to take strides towards your goal is to make your move. Learn the thing. Call that contact. Make that decision. The world is filled with opportunities for adventure, and I welcome them into my life with planned action. It's time to choose between the one that's cozily rooted in the place you already know, or the one that leans into exciting new possibilities. You need to make a choice to do the thing that you really want to do or not. You can dream it, you can envision it. We have been observing the dream, and our action is the only way to bring that dream into life. Pisces, okay, you were in some kind of situation in the past that kind of took you away from who you really are, okay? If you tend to be this, very outgoing, this go-getter, you already know how you succeed in life. You already know what you're good at. You already know how to get things in motion. But sometimes when you meet someone, or when you kind of fall into a routine, or you get into a certain kind of environment that kind of stunts your growth in a certain kind of sense, maybe you get too comfortable, maybe the environment is not positive for your growth, maybe the people that you're around, maybe the relationships try to hold you back, okay? The devil, someone was not a very positive influence in your life, could be a person or an environment, and so it's like you kind of lost yourself in this relationship, in this person, in this situation, in this environment. Whatever this was, it's something connected to the past, and it kind of had you feeling like you weren't yourself anymore, like you had a hard time finding the real you. You had a hard time kind of finding yourself after this situation happened. Okay, a lot of you might have felt completely like overwhelmed or kind of burnt out or exhausted from what you were put through, from what you had to go through. And so Eight of Swords, you kind of felt like maybe you didn't have the energy, maybe you didn't have the time, maybe you didn't feel like yourself anymore, and there was something that was holding you back in place. And so you're going from Two of Wands in the reverse to King of Wands. You're finally reclaiming your power. You're reclaiming this side of you that you already know, Pisces. You know how to win in life. You know what it is that you do. You know what your weaknesses are. You also know what your strengths are. And again, when you're around the wrong kinds of people or the wrong kinds of environments, or you fall into patterns or to habits where you kind of just lose yourself, or you get too comfortable, right? It's like, that's not the real you. That's really not the real you, but you've been here for a little while in this Two of Wands energy. So it's like you're finally regaining the control and the power over your life. You're finally feeling like you're yourself again, like you're at the top, like you're winning. And it's building your confidence, it's building that self-esteem, because you might have felt like you were underneath it for a little while. Like things just started to hit you in a sense, you know, like a little bit of a downward spiral. Maybe you were going through a lot of chaos with the Tower, Two of Pentacles in the reverse, Two of Swords in the reverse, and Two of Wands in the reverse. Again, it's like a lot of things were out of alignment in your life, and you were trying your hardest to kind of bring everything back in alignment. But the thing is, a lot of you were going through transformation. So as much as you wanted to align things, things were not going to be like they used to be before. You're a new version of yourself, right? Like a 2.0, 3.0, 4.0, 11.0 version of yourself. So even though you wanted to bring things back into balance or back into alignment, you were undergoing a transformation. So Pisces, go easy on yourself. Don't be too hard on yourself for things that happened or didn't happen, things that you did or didn't do, because, you navigated the situation as best as you could. There's only so much you can do when it comes to balance and alignment when you're undergoing a transformation, because we have the Tower. Pisces, you are in a big, major level up kind of situation in your life, where for some of you, it might have been months in the making, years in the making, okay? This is a big level up in your life as a whole, not just a life transition, not just a life change, but a major level up. And so you've had to deal with a lot of changes, a lot of chaos, a lot of transformation that has happened during this period of your life. And so you're finally feeling like you got it back, like you got your power and your control back over yourself. Because whenever you go through a Tower moment, it feels like life is kind of happening to you. It feels like a lot of things are out of your control, like things are happening on a universal level. There's so much that you can't control or that you can't do, and that you have to surrender in those specific situations or scenarios. With the Tower, there's been a lot of chaos that you've had to navigate through, and you're finally getting the power back. You're finally getting your groove back, your juju. You're feeling like yourself again. You're feeling like the master, and like you're on top of it, not like you're underneath it. And so this is a very big shift. You're going from this comfort zone that was making you feel like you were suffocating or like you were stuck, into, again, having your fire back, having your power back, and it's like connecting to that inner lion within you. This is also a big entrepreneurial card. So if you're into businesses, into investments, into, starting something new, into monetizing something, this is a really good card to have in this position. Pisces, again, you're going from feeling like you were underneath it, okay, to feeling like you're on top and being on top. King of Wands. Four of Wands, there is a major celebration coming for a lot of you. Four of Wands signifies crossing the finish line and crossing through that portal, okay? See how we go from Three of Wands? It's like you're crossing through that portal, your ships are finally coming in, and you go from Three of Wands straight into Four of Wands. Three of Wands, you're anticipating your ships. You know that you're on the right path. You know that it's coming in. You know that you put the work forth. Four of Wands, you're actually celebrating. So this is the before, this is the after. Four of Wands, you're celebrating that you crossed the finish line and that you attained what it is that you set out for, okay? Because it feels like you've been on a very long journey here, Pisces, and it's finally coming into the Four of Wands. Success, reaching the finish line, reaching those milestones, and coming into the Empress. Your manifestation, Pisces, is about to be birthed, okay? 10 of Pentacles to the Empress. For a lot of you, it has a lot to do with abundance, with wealth, with material things, in the sense of maybe it's an investment, a business, something to do with work, maybe a hobby that you're monetizing. For a lot of you, it's abundance on all areas of your life. But Four of Wands signifies that celebration that marks the after. It's official. You're celebrating because it already happened. in this Four of Wands. So you find yourself here at the Three of Wands, feeling like it's coming in this month of November. It's coming full circle. Four of Wands coming in. Big milestones crossed. Okay, so Four of Wands. Let's see here. Celebration, prosperity, an important event or milestone, gathering of souls, kindred, stability in home and relationships. Okay, so this is important. Stability in home and relationships. For a lot of you, you've been navigating a lot of changes and transformations, even chaos with the Tower moment, and you're finally getting to that level of stability. Four of Wands talks about foundations. So stability in home and relationships sometimes signifies marriage. Bring the noise. It's time to kick back in joyful elevation. You've been building foundations, and after a period of massive shifting, exactly, Tower to the Judgment, you've been leveling up for a while, Pisces. It feels like this has been one of the longest transformations that you've been through, okay? Because Tower and Judgment are two major arcanas. Tower comes in first and starts to kind of shake things up and create chaos and changes and transformation, and kind of creates that pattern interrupt. And then finally, Judgment, you begin to rise and level up. So you begin to come out of this energy from feeling, again, underneath it to being on top. So yeah, after a period of massive shifting, it's time to enjoy some well-deserved communal bliss. If you've been through a cycle of rapid expansion and awakening, this card marks a transition into a more harmonic and stable state. You have reached new levels of consciousness, and it's a milestone event, and celebrate with the people who love you. Love them right back as they are. And sometimes this card signifies marriage or another significant occasion. While connecting with friends and family, make sure you relax, release, and allow your body to integrate all the lessons you've been working through. Happiness and harmony are yours to be had. Enjoy these warm vibes of celebration and success. Also, when was the last time you danced? I am devoted to my connectedness, and I celebrate the wonder of loving bliss with my community. So Pisces, again, major celebration coming in for you. King of Wands, you are taking your power back. You are taking control over your life. The Strength in the reverse. Again, in the past, you felt like maybe at some point you felt like you were strong enough because you've gone through so much in your life that you've had to become a very strong person, a very wise person, full streams of income, things like that just make you feel like you're solid in this earthly realm. The Empress, a lot of your plans are coming into fruition. So let's go ahead and clarify the King of Pentacles coming in the reverse, because I still don't know why this is coming in this position. With the World in the upright and the Eight of Swords, this marks a successful completion of that last cycle. So I want to know a little bit about this King of Pentacles and why it's coming in this position. Some kind of hardships or some kind of tricky energy to get out of, because that Eight of Swords, it just feels like a mental prison. It truly does. It just could feel like negative thoughts, memories coming up from the past. You know, it's just a very restricting kind of limited energy. It just feels like being stuck and not knowing how to make your way out, not being able to see forward, not knowing what actions to take, overthinking things, feeling a little bit undecisive. And again, something from the past triggered that, and you're finally coming full circle into this Ten of Pentacles, into finally receiving the fruits of your labor, coming into your manifestations, and the Sun coming in. This is the happiest card in the entire tarot deck, Pisces. Out of 78 cards, a lot of happiness, a lot of positivity coming into your life, and it's also a big yes card for that Ten of Pentacles. So again, that Two of Pentacles, it feels like it was something in the past that was pulling you in the opposite direction of where you wanted to go, but you finally overcame that. So, Holy Spirit, what is this King of Pentacles doing in the reverse? And what does this mean for Pisces? Can you please clarify the King of Pentacles in the reverse? Okay, Death and Rebirth in the reverse. That's Scorpio. Nine of Wands in the upright. Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Cups, two aces, Pisces. Wow. Why is the King of Pentacles in the reverse, Holy Spirit? What is this about? We have the Lovers again, Pisces. In the reverse again. Okay. It may be connected to that past energy. We had the Devil, which is Capricorn. King of Pentacles could be Capricorn, Taurus, or Virgo. Doesn't necessarily have to be. We also have Scorpio coming in with Death and Rebirth in the reverse. Lovers in the reverse. And then 2 aces. Why is the Lovers in the reverse? What is this about? Holy Spirit, please clarify. Why is the Lovers in the reverse? King of Swords. Pisces, there was a tough decision that you had to make in the past to sever ties with either someone, okay, or make some kind of a tough decision that you had to really disconnect from your emotions. You had to disconnect from your feelings so that you can make this decision based on facts and logic and like truly what happened. Like seeing things at face value. Like this is what happened. This is what's fair. This is what's honest. And having that clear, direct communication and not allowing your emotions or your feelings to get in the way. But this talks about having to make some kind of a tough call, some kind of a tough decision, and having to be honest with yourself or with somebody else and tell them something, communicate something. Because Death and Rebirth in the reverse, something here needed to come into some kind of transformation. It couldn't continue the way that it was. It either had to die out and be rebirthed as something else, or it had to transform, because the way that it was kind of getting in the way of your own prosperity, of your own progress. And this could have been a person or a situation from the past. 9 of Wands, you felt a little bit defensive towards this person or towards the situation. Okay, I'm getting, for a lot of you, this may be connected to that last Devil energy that we pulled for this spread for the 2 of Pentacles, because it's creating this feeling of being stuck. And so the Lovers is in the reverse. This talks about having to make a decision, right? But for a lot of you, this could have been making the decision to come into separation, making the decision to sever ties with somebody. I don't want to get too specific. I feel the need to clarify a little bit more, but it's getting more and more specific. And I don't want to say it, Pisces, but for some of you, this person was holding you back from your own transformation. They were holding you back from upgrading to this new version of yourself, because we go Death and Rebirth being card number 13, Major Arcana, to the Tower, card number 16, to Judgment, card number 20, you finally leveling up, you finally breaking through that glass ceiling and getting to the next level. Whoever this person was, they didn't want to transform with you, but they were also holding you back from this transformation. So not only did you have to transform as a person, but this connection, this relationship had to transform, because it would only hold you back. It would only keep you stuck in this energy of the 8 of Swords. And so whoever this person was, Pisces, they might have just been very selfish or very self-centered, okay? Because they were holding you back from becoming a new version of yourself, okay? Because you have Judgment coming in. Feels like you had to make a decision to sever ties with this person, with this environment, with this connection. Could have been family, could have been relationship, could have been a friendship, you know, co-workers, whatever it was trying to keep you back from becoming a better version of yourself. It may be even reminding you of a past version of yourself, because Death and Rebirth is in the reverse. They didn't want to let go of you, but they also didn't want to transform with you. 9 of Wands. They did certain things, Pisces, that were questionable, that raised the red flags. 9 of Wands, you felt like you could not be yourself around them, like you had to watch your back, okay? It triggered your defenses. 9 of Wands. It also triggered the warrior within you to take the step that you needed to take to move on. And because of the 9 of Wands, you finally arrived to 2 new aces, an Ace of Pentacles and an Ace of Cups, a brand new beginning, Pisces, a brand new opportunity that maybe you felt like you weren't going to have anymore. Maybe you felt like if you cut ties or disconnected from this person or ended the situation, whatever it was, that you didn't know what was going to happen, what was going to come after that. But the thing is, when you did that, okay, 9 of Wands, when you chose yourself, when you chose self-respect and to do this for yourself, the divine granted you 2 brand new opportunities, an Ace of Pentacles and an Ace of Cups. But whatever the decision was, Pisces, there was some kind of separation, and it was a decision that you had to make based on logic and based on facts and results, and not your emotions. Because if you would have allowed your emotions or your feelings to make this decision, maybe you would have stayed in the situation. Maybe you would have stayed stuck with this person or in this environment. Eight of Swords, you would have continued to feel entrapped. Because sometimes your emotions, you know, it's like if you care for somebody, or you feel bad about, you know, doing something or speaking your truth, you know, or choosing yourself. It's like that can hold you and keep you in place somewhere where you're not meant to be. Because something was meant to die out and transform. And so the Lovers in the reverse talks about a separation, kind of severing ties, going in different directions. King of Swords, you had to cut someone out, or you had to cut something out. You had to sever ties with someone or something in your life. But that actually birthed 2 brand new opportunities for you. Why is the Lovers in the reverse for Pisces, Holy Spirit? Tell me a little bit more about this. 6 of Swords. Tell me more about this. The Lovers, Page of Swords, the reverse. Pisces, a lot of you had to transition and go your own way, okay? For a lot of you, this was a physical move. For others of you, this was some kind of a mindset shift, some kind of a spiritual move, but you did transition. 6 of Swords, you did transition from the situation that was holding you back. Page of Swords in the reverse. You might have even been in a connection, okay? Could be family, could be friends, could be a relationship, could be a coworker, but you might have been with a person that was all talk and no action. Page of Swords in the reverse. And you didn't want to stay in that situation any longer because you knew, okay, King of Swords, you knew that you had to continue to progress and continue to rise because you couldn't stay stuck there. Whatever the situation or the person, the environment, whatever it was making you feel restricted. That 8 of Swords is a stuck energy. I'm going to go ahead and touch base on a couple things here. Yeah. Feeling stuck, a time to open your eyes to unveil the truth, having more options than you thought, an opportunity to let go of an old story. Exactly. Some of you might have stayed here because you didn't know what other opportunities or what other options were going to be there for you. But as soon as you decided to transition, to sever ties, the divine rewarded you with 2 new opportunities, an Ace of Pentacles and an Ace of Cups. I am free to choose my healing and my light. This is a gentle reminder that you create your reality. Look beyond the veil of illusion that your current limitations are projecting. If you're feeling trapped with no path forward, remember that this too is a perspective that can be lifted. When you choose sovereignty over victimhood, you become the fierce wielder of choice. You can free yourself from your shackles and shift your outcome dramatically by accepting that you are the one person who is responsible for your happiness. Create infinite portals of possibility by becoming the solution. We are never really stuck. Nurture your soul and spend the time you need to transmute any feelings of helplessness. While we can't control every experience that is put on our path, we can definitely work on how we respond to each one. Let go of old stories and be vigilant of any wallowing, low-vibe thoughts that you may be holding on to. Reframe your experiences as lessons and choose to heal. Pisces, congratulations, okay? Congratulations, because the world is here. Whatever this stuck energy was, whatever that cycle was past tense, the world. You've brought it into a successful completion. This is no longer going to be a cycle that you're going to have to go through or that's going to repeat in your life. The world being a major arcana. Card number 21, 2 + 1 is 3. You've aligned your mind, body, and spirit, or your mind, body, and soul, and you've finally been able to come into some kind of alignment in your life where this chapter, this phase is officially over. This 8 of Swords energy is officially over. If you felt like you didn't have the control or the power, or like you felt like things were happening to you, or you were underneath it, okay? Could even be life situations that happen that you literally have no control over with the Tower, but you're finally gaining that power, that control. And the Tower coming in with the World, that 8 of Swords is over. Whatever this was, whatever was keeping you stuck, whatever was making you feel like maybe even a little bit like hopeless because you've been there for so long, that's coming to an end. The world. You have a lot of good things happening in this month of November, Pisces. It's finally coming in. It's coming full circle with the 10 of Pentacles. Holy Spirit, what do you want Pisces to know about Judgment and the Tower coming in? Please tell us a little bit more about this energy. So we have the Page of Swords in the reverse again. Why the Page of Swords in the reverse? What is this about? The Four of Swords. The King of Swords again. Wow, Pisces, this is kind of crazy. Tell me a little bit more, Holy Spirit. What is this about? The Two of Cups. Pisces, you had to heal from someone who, again, was all talk and no action, okay? Might have lied, might have told you a lot of things. And Four of Swords coming in, you had to heal from that. There was some kind of a healing cycle that you had to go through. This feels more like past energy. King of Swords, you had to sever ties, you had to make a decision. And believe it or not, whether you know this or not, Pisces, whatever kind of tower moment, you know, where you felt like the rug was being pulled from underneath your feet, it's all been leading you up to this moment, to Two of Cups. Something's about to come in, okay? There's been a lot of separation. There's been a lot of severing ties. Two of Pentacles in the reverse, the Two of Swords in the reverse. Two of Cups is finally showing up in the upright. Because you made those tough choices, those decisions, because you decided to, again, make decisions out of a place of logic and facts rather than just your emotions, you're finally able to come into some kind of alignment, some kind of divine union. And you maybe didn't see it at the time. Maybe at the time you didn't know what was going to happen, what was going to come after the separation or after this cycle coming into completion. But because of doing the healing work, because of King of Swords making that decision, Two of Cups is finally coming in. There is some kind of a union after this Tower moment. Okay, this Tower moment already happened in your life, and now you're currently going through this level up. Judgment, you are rising, okay? You are becoming a higher version of yourself, and you are rising to this next level of your experience. And in this next level, as this new person, you're about to come into some kind of a union that's aligned, that's on the same page as you, okay? And I don't know what this is for you. For a lot of you, this could be aligning with, you know, some kind of a relationship, a partner, a relationship in terms of maybe something platonic or something romantic, maybe a new friend, maybe aligning with that new version of yourself, coming into union with your higher self. Whatever this is, Pisces, it's only possible because you severed ties with something that you knew was not for you, was not meant for you, it was keeping you stuck. And because of that, Judgment, the rewards come in. Two of Cups. There's a union coming in. So again, Two of Cups is not always romantic. Could very well be romantic for a lot of you. But it could also just talk about friendship and coming into union. Romantic partners, soulmates, friends, friendships, connected hearts, passion, kindred spirits, joyful connection and cooperation, union, sometimes marriage, duality, love, and consciousness. I thrive in partnerships and connect. When you share your joy with those around you, you will attract deep and meaningful ties with others. This card whispers of romance and love, bliss and attraction, and the unity of the like-hearted. Sometimes it signifies the beginning of a new friendship or a business partnership. While at other times around you, you will attract deep and meaningful ties with others. This card whispers of romance and love, bliss and attraction, the unity of like-hearted. Sometimes it signifies the beginning of a new friendship or a new business partnership, while at other times it marks a profound romantic union. This perfect pairing of matched souls has the potential to develop into a magical and intoxicating entanglement of twin flames, or the merging of paths that will be forever united or changed as a result. If you are single, look for the arrival of a profoundly passionate and devoted lover. Are you putting enough energy into your relationship? Harmony and balance. I thrive in partnerships, and my heart leaps with joy when I connect. Pisces, for a lot of you, there's some kind of union coming in after this cycle has ended in your life. You already did the healing work. The Tower moment has already cleared out of your life, and now you are rising to this next level. You're going from 3 of Wands to 4 of Wands, and finally 2 of Cups, this union. Holy Spirit, what do you want Pisces to know about the 2 of Cups? What is this 2 of Cups for Pisces? I want to know a little bit more, because this is a general reading, but I do want to know what this 2 of Cups is for you. The Chariot is coming in fast, Pisces. Chariot is a very fast-moving energy. 3 of Cups. Queen of Swords, power couple, King and Queen of Swords. 6 of Cups. And we have 2 cards on the side here. Actually, 3 cards. Queen of Wands in the reverse. 9 of Swords in the reverse. And the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, that's a lot of cards. Okay, so 2 of Cups to the Chariot to the 3 of Cups. Pisces, some of you have some soul family coming in, okay? Could be friendships, really strong friendships that turn into relationships or partnerships. But I don't want to just say that it's romantic, because for a lot of you, it is, okay? It is going to be something romantic. But for a lot of you, also 3 of Cups, you have soul tribe, soul family coming in. And some of you may have felt like you've been going at it. 8 of Swords, like you've kind of just been in your own mind space, like you've been trying to overcome a lot of these challenges and get out of this energy, and you're finally getting that support. 2 of Cups to 3 of Cups, the Chariot, it's coming in fast for a lot of you. But in this situation, okay, as you come into these relationships, as you come into these connections, remember to always be clear and honest, and voice your needs, voice your wants. And when you have to, put your emotions aside. Don't do something because you feel or have the emotions. Do it because the logic and the facts are there. And the reason why I'm saying that, and she has the sword in hand and the red flags, is because sometimes, Pisces, you tend to care too much. You tend to love too hard. And you get caught up in situations where people take your kindness for weakness, or they abuse your generosity. And you end up in these relationships that tend to be toxic or tend to make you feel like you're entrapped. And the reason why, Pisces, is because you lead with your heart, and people tend to take advantage of that. So as you come into these connections, because the Chariot is saying that these connections, these new friendships are coming in fast in this month of November, okay? 2 of Cups to 3 of Cups. For a lot of you, it will be romantic. And for others of you, could be in business, could be soul family, soul tribe coming in. But you're going to feel that support. The thing is, you have to remember your own value in these connections and have those boundaries. Voice your truth so that people don't think that they can cross those lines with you. Again, putting your emotions aside and taking action from clarity, from facts, from logic, and not letting your emotions lead the way, because you can very well end up in a situation where you have to heal again because you gave your heart to the wrong people, or because you were generous to the wrong kinds of people. I just want to put that out there, Pisces, because what I'm seeing here is you just came out of a healing cycle, and a healing cycle, Pisces, doesn't mean that you have to close out to the world and just not let anybody in because you don't want to get hurt. It means that now you've learned those lessons, and it's not for you to go solo, because Hermit is in the reverse. You're not meant to be solo. You're not meant to go at it alone, right? You're not meant to be in this Hermit energy. That's why it's in the reverse. It's telling you to get out of this Hermit mode, because it's gonna help your manifestations. You're gonna feel the support of a community. You're gonna feel the support of friendships and new connections and partnerships, but you have to learn how to draw the line so that people don't take advantage of your heart, of your kindness, of your emotions, so that you don't end up in another healing cycle. So I just want to say that, Pisces, because I care, and I love Pisces, and I know how big your heart is, but not a lot of people are on that level. So 6 of Cups. Pisces, you've released the past, and you've released the past emotions, and you're making space for these new relationships. Queen of Wands. What I'm feeling here with the Queen of Wands in the reverse is that whatever you had to go through in the past with the 9 of Swords, it's like you went through some kind of anxiety, some kind of sleepless nights, negative thoughts, maybe even PTSD, and that really took the fun away from the experience. That really took away from the passion, from the excitement, from the manifestation, from this fun, playful side that you have. It really took away from that because you were going through the stress. It's like you got the shorter end of the stick in the past, and now you're kind of apprehensive to open up because you don't want to put yourself through that again. But the thing is, with the Queen of Swords, this talks about being just and fair and honest and balanced, and having that clear communication and voicing your needs, and having the sword in hand in case you need to cut some people out, in case you spot some red flags. You're able to really enforce your boundaries. So again, don't fear going into a cycle where you feel like you can't be yourself, or like you can't fully be playful or the real version of you, because that Nine of Swords, it just talks about, you know, something that keeps you up at night because of what you've been through in the past. But the Wheel of Fortune is your final card. You have luck on your side, and the Wheel of Fortune is finally turning in your favor. It's also card number 10. That's an ending to the past cycle, to the past version of yourself, and it's a rebirth to this new version of you. And the Wheel of Fortune is in the reverse. Things are changing in your favor, so take advantage of this shift, take advantage of this energetic change, okay, because it's gonna work in your favor. And again, don't hide yourself, don't play it too small, Pisces, and don't be afraid to really voice your needs. A lot of you don't want to hurt anybody else's feelings. A lot of you just tend to put people before your own needs, but that's what got you in the cycle to begin with. So there's a need to really learn the lesson and put yourself first, because when you respect yourself and you put yourself first, other people will also do the same. So this is really beautiful, Pisces. I just want to go ahead and wrap up this reading and clarify the last row here. So the Hermit in the reverse, Pisces. Spirit is saying to come out of hermit mode, because you have a lot of beautiful things manifesting in your life. You put in the work, Pisces. You cut out distractions, and you're finally being advised to come out of this hermit mode, because new connections and new opportunities are coming into your life. Holy Spirit, what do you want Pisces to know about the Magician coming in? This is Gemini energy, strong Gemini energy coming in. Okay, we have the Two of Wands in the upright. We just had it in the reverse just a minute ago. You have the Five of Cups in the reverse. You have the Knight of Cups. Exactly, Pisces. In this month of November, you have a lot of new opportunities and new offers coming in. You're being advised to leave the comfort zone. Leave the comfort zone, Pisces, because you already put everything in motion. You already have the energetic blueprints. So now it's a time to make it a reality. And in this month of November, you will have the opportunities. You will have the right kinds of people and connections click into place. But it's a matter of leaving the comfort zone now. Five of Cups in the reverse. Pisces, release any kind of disappointments of things that did not work out in the past, because you're master manifesting your way into the Ten of Pentacles. So just keep that in mind, okay? If you have those memories or those thoughts of things that were, you know, big disappointments or things that didn't work out, everything is shifting and everything is changing. And your first card is the Ten of Pentacles. Your manifestations are finally materializing into physical reality. The Sun, this is a big yes card to move forward. So Ten of Pentacles coming in. I want to just briefly go over this card. This is by far one of my favorite cards this year, because it talks about how Saturn and Pisces are helping you really not just manifest, but materialize the things that you really want into physical reality, where you can touch it, feel it, grab it. So King of Pentacles coming in. We also have that in here. In the reverse, meaning you've released that energy and you're finally coming into the Ten of Pentacles. Spiritual, material abundance, community, generosity, wealth, and prosperity. Building a legacy. I am successful and I share my wealth with those I love. Oh baby, this is a big one. All the love, abundance, and joy that you can muster in your heart, it's coming your way, and it's coming fast. It's time to prepare for its inevitable arrival and to commit to the long-term success. This energy is so big, in fact, that you should be prepared to spread some of it around generously. Bring an abundance of positive energy into your life and watch everything shift. Expect the arrival of success, happiness, in an upbeat, loving community. As avenues widen, the right connections click into place. Remember that perceptions change, and I just got goosebumps. You are one small move away from seeing the bigger picture and unearthing a legacy of pentacles that is already yours. You deserve the success. Taste the pleasures of life and embody a state of consciousness that says, yes, I am worthy of all of the success. Pisces, for a lot of you, this month of November is a game changer. It feels like you're just getting started. Blessings are coming in your way. and you've cleared the way. You've made the space for these blessings to come in. And now 3 of Wands coming in. Your ships are finally arriving, Pisces. It's been a long time coming. And you know how a lot of people start to power down at the end of the year? It's like you're powering up. You're powering up. Things are speeding up for you. You're starting to get an early Christmas. 10 of Pentacles to the Sun. A lot of rewards are coming your way, Pisces. And again, congratulate yourself. Pat yourself on the back because you do deserve this. You've been putting in the work and you're finally completing this energy of, again, feeling hopeless or feeling stuck. You know, the world coming in, that's an official ending to that cycle. And when the world is in the upright, it means that you successfully closed it out. It means it's no longer going to continue repeating in your life. And Judgment to the Tower, you have leveled up. Any kind of chaos that has happened in your life is finally clearing out. Any kind of indecision, getting out of hermit mode and coming back into the 10 of Pentacles energy. I'm going to pull some advice cards, Pisces, and then we're going to wrap this reading up because we're almost at an hour here. So Holy Spirit, any final advice for Pisces? Any advice that you want Pisces to take into account in regards to this reading? We're going to pull from the Oracle, and then we're going to just wrap this up. Okay, take the first step is coming in here. Holy Spirit, any final advice for Pisces? Okay, we had a card flip here. We have dreams. Okay, yes, Pisces, your dreams are finally manifesting into reality. The light, yeah. 8 of Swords, Pisces, you felt like you were stuck somewhere in some kind of situation and you're finally seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. Okay, that's a lot of cards. So I'm not going to take these cards. It's just too many. Holy Spirit, any final advice for Pisces in regards to this reading? Okay, go with the flow. And we have nature. Okay, there's a card right below nature. It's confusion. Pisces, the confusion has finally cleared out of your life and out of your path. That confusion was connected to the 8 of Swords, the stuck energy. The light at the end of the tunnel is happening in this month of November. You're finally seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. Your dreams are no longer dreams. They're finally coming into reality. They're finally materializing. And there's a need to really just stabilize it, ground it, become more harmonic. Your confusion is clearing out, Pisces. You are in dreams awake. Have you been asking for divine guidance and direction? Pay attention to your dreams, since the answers are coming to you via your dream state. While you sleep, your spirit returns home for sheer comfort and to check in with your guides who help you and who shed light on your current circumstances and difficult situations. In your dreams, the answers will reveal themselves in symbolic clues in order to help you. Keep a journal next to your bed and make note of your dreams and trust your higher self to help you decipher these symbolic messages. This card may also reflect your desire to follow your dreams. If you've been questioning whether you should take a step in the direction of your dreams, your higher self is saying yes. The time is now. Do not hold off moving towards what you want, hoping that it will somehow come into fruition later. Act now and move forward fearlessly. You will be supported by your higher self and a spiritual team on this path. Pisces, wow, beautiful. Go with the flow. Reality, okay? 10 of Pentacles. Blessings, Pisces. Take care.